BioPAC 5.0 has a new database, a completely new system of storing your patient's data and personal information. In addition to simply having the patient's name and the traces, date of birth, etc., you can have notes for your patient files, you can have images of your patients. Some of our clients like to have intraoral photos, digital x-rays, posture photos, things like that, right in the BioPAC that they can add to their reports. One of the things that we want to make sure of is that current clients who are coming from an older version to 5.0 are going to be able to use the data that they had recorded on some older versions of the software. Now, in order to do that, what you're going to have to do is you'll start at the patient mode, you'll have installed your BioPAC, you'll have your old data will be stored typically under C:\program files \BioPAC \data. All of this is covered in our user guide and our setup, but what I'd like to do is to show you the database wizard. The database wizard is how we're going to create and switch from different databases between each other. Normally in a practice you're only going to have one, so this is really a little bit more of a section for more of our power users. But essentially what you're going to do is in the patient mode, the very first screen you see in BioPAC, is go to Setup and down to Database Wizard. Now I'm not going to go through the steps of the Database Wizard because typically, because we're talking about patient data and you can erase things completely using this, we prefer that you actually call our 800 number and talk to one of us while you're going through this for the first time, maybe even the first and second time, just to make sure that we get it right. Once you've installed the BioPAC for the first time, if you have no information, it's going to ask you to create a new /empty database. You'll only do that once, and all you're going to do is click on Create a New Database, Next, and it will do that automatically for you, and you'll begin to record. Now, the other option is to convert an old pre-version 5 database. Essentially, if you've had any Windows version of the BioPAC, whether that's version 2 point something through 4.2, which was our last version prior to 5, you are able to take those old patients and those old patient traces and convert them in. All you need to do is to click on Convert an Old Database, call us first, we'll have you click on Convert an Old Database, together we will go and find that database, it'll be converted into the new format, and then you'll be able to view it on the BioPAC. Now, some of you will have a TMD practice and an orthodontic practice, or you will be giving lectures and you will have your lecture patients that you use as examples, and then all of your other patients. One of the options in our database wizard now is to have multiple databases. In other words, you have all your patients in one, but you can pull out good examples of pathologies or good examples of normal or interesting cases and put those into a second database while keeping them in the original. In order to do that, you would click on Setup, go to Database Wizard, and import from another database. What you do there is you will take some of your traces out of your original and paste them into a new database. Then, in order to switch back and forth, you'll use this option, change to a different database. Now I know I'm not going into this in any depth, but what I did want to do was to make sure that you knew that this was an option. So those are your options in the database wizard. Again, if you have any problems with your database, you feel like you've lost patients or something like that, feel free to give us a call at the 800 number. If you're online, we can hook up and we can actually go in and do this with you. Again, having your BioPAC program online, preferably with a high speed, like cable modem, DSL, something like that, is very helpful, especially with some of the new features of the database. Our customer service staff are ready and more than willing to help you walk through some of these new features. The database wizard is going to give you a lot more flexibility if you need it, and if not, really it's going to perform just like the old one. You'll have your patient list. Underneath every patient name is the traces that you've taken, and in addition to that, the reports that you've generated. If, however, you want multiple databases, we've designed this wizard so that it's much easier to manage multiple databases in a single setting and still have all your patients in one central location.